Welcome in, everybody.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
Let's go! Let's go! Set! 180! Come on! They're going to 88. They're going to 88. Single, slot. Hey,
now a first down throw. Stafford. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Adams has it complete. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you. A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. James has it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And they try to sweep to Jones. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
On 2nd and 15 now. Stafford. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Throwing to Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Rodgers on target here to Allison. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. 6-0 our score after 1. The Packers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Get 300! Get 300! 52! Right 52! Know your job! Check 9, check 9! Slam, slam, slam!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now it's Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Packers on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. Here it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw. He's got his man, Valdes-Scantling. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
26, 358. You got Parker. Check. Check. Watch the safety creep.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jesse James, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. From the 30 on second down, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dean Lowry showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And what we loved at the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it, because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw is Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Packers on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Stafford. Screenplay. Johnson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
To throw is Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Stafford now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Kill. Live.
To throw is Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Rodgers going to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. James has got it. Complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers, he's going to float this one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Throwing is Rodgers. Flush to his... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Deshaun Hand. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
one of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
5-2 is the Mike 5-2.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And James has it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And Adams has it, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Mike 48.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Packers. Jesse James with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. Now the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They're running the jet sweep with Jones, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Johnson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Watch the twist.
A Again, it's Johnson. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On the ground, this is Johnson, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
He'll get this one to Galladay. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now it's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now the toss to Jones, running right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got Adams on the hookup. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Rodgers will try again on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on third and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important fourth quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the post. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again here on second down, this time complete.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They go to Johnson again. And some room to maneuver.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
He's back to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late in the night. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down 24-20. A little under 40 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers to throw. He's going to let it go deep. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people watching this one right here gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Extra point right down the middle. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. We focus our attention on the Green Bay defense as they head out. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get? That
that's always the key, isn't it? Where is the line on aggressiveness to over-aggressiveness? And I think most coordinators are looking at it like run your regular defense, add some pressure packages, because really the 35-yard line is the one you really want to defend. At that point, you're thinking you're probably giving up 3. Anything outside of that, you feel like you've got a chance to hold it.
So they'll be in search of the proper amount of pressure. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Set. Go 20.
One last throw here for Stanford. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to